Okay, good morning, McDonald Leader Team. Super excited that you are here. It is September 19th, hard to believe. And I have asked Julie Aldridge, our Field Development Manager, to join this call. And, you know, Julie's a super busy person, so I feel very honored that she squeezed this into her already crazy schedule. We do have some new directors on the call, so I wanted to, those of you that are new, I wanted to give you a little background about Julie. Julie's been in direct sales for the industry for 29 years. And she'll tell you that she was really young when she started. So, and 21 of those years, she walked in our shoes, ladies. She was a leader and a national executive director for 3 different direct sales companies. And I tease Julie about this all the time. I always say, because you save Pampered Chef, which is the best for last. So Julie now acts as our field development manager, and she's been one for the past 8 years. Julie lives in Louisville. She will correct you if you say that wrong, with her husband, Rob. And her favorite pastime, she likes to sail, she likes to cycle, and her probably favorite, I would tell you, would be reading books to her 2 grandchildren. So Julie, thank you so much. You know that this is a really big month for the organization. We have working towards all executive numbers, national numbers, and every director being green. So I'm going to turn this over to you so that you could share some of your ideas.
Okay, excellent. Thanks, Donna. And actually, I was looking at your numbers, I think it was Monday. And I have to tell all of you, you know, I know you know this, but it's always good to hear it again, just to kind of give you some confidence and so that you feel good. You guys are the top of the company. And your organization is very highly respected, every single one of the leaders. And, you know, we don't have a lot of national teams, and you are one of the national teams. So I don't ever want you to lose sight of what that means to be a national team. And actually, over the past year, well, so far, year to date, you guys have sold like $3 million as an organization year to date. So when you think about that, I mean, you can think about corporations out there, great big companies that can't say that they've sold $3 million year to date. You know, so I don't know how your numbers are going to end, you know, at the very end of the year, but that's a really big deal. So you guys have to kind of understand that as a leader in the direct sales industry, each one of you has the opportunity to have an organization the size of having all of those sales, $3 million. You know, it's kind of interesting when I think about it, because there's a lot of times I go back to the example of owning a franchise. And since Donna McDonald is here, Donna, I'll say that, well, let's all imagine a McDonald's franchise, for example. So if you owned a McDonald's hamburger joint, what you have to realize is every single time you, as a consultant, recruit another team member, you, in essence, are setting somebody up in their own franchise. So think about that. Think about what it takes to own a McDonald's franchise, and think about the money those franchise owners make. You know, so you've got McDonald's setting up franchises all over the place. You are no different. You are all the CEOs of individual organizations. So it's really up to you how big you want to build your organization. Now, do you have any idea how many shows that you all have collectively submitted year to date? 5,300. Okay, so I want you to imagine right now that your organization, you're a director right now, and you're going to be branching out your organization. I want you to imagine what it would be like to look at your performance tracker and to see that your team has held 5,300 shows year to date. Okay, so I want you to just kind of grasp that a little bit. And this organization year to date has recruited around 490 people. And Donna, actually, it's probably more than that because you guys have probably done some recruiting over the past couple of days. So what would your team, your organization look like with 490 new team members year to date, January to September? Okay. This organization has around 40 directors in it. Okay, so I want you to imagine what it would feel like to not be the only director in your company. How would it feel to take some people that are in your personal team and mentor them and guide them so that they get to the point of director? And now you've got a team of people working right alongside you in your organization. So I want you to be proud of what all of you have built together, and you all carry very key roles. Because as the leader, you're setting the example for everybody. So it's so vital to just a couple of things. And you guys know this, you don't need to hear it from me, but just making sure that you are personally green every single month. Because I know that when you're looking at your team and you've got people who aren't green, you're like, oh my gosh, I wish that they were green, right? You know, the other thing is making sure that your director, you know, your organization as a team, each one of you are green every single month. Because really, when you think about it, that is just like the minimum mentality is, okay, I just need to strive to be green. You want to each kind of strive to go above and beyond that. And I'm going to give you an example why here very shortly. So really, I was thrilled when Donna invited me to come on the call today just to spend some time with you. I think part of the purpose is really to let you guys know that I am your field development manager, so I'll be working very closely with Donna. Her and I are going to kind of be linking arms together, and my role really is, when I think about working with you, my big focus is going to be a couple of different things, and that is so that you all together can create strength in your personal teams so that you all together can promote more directors into your first generation. And it doesn't just stop there. We want to make sure that we're all really strong as directors and that our teams and our director teams are really strong as well. So that is how I'll be partnering with each and every one of you. Don and I are going to be talking on a very regular basis, and we'll be coming up with plans to be able to, you know, working together and doing some different trainings and things like that. So I'm really, really excited about it. And right now we're positioned for huge growth because of the $29 Quick Start Kit. So want to let you know that as a company, we are probably going to experience our largest recruiting month in Pampered Chef history this month. I'm not going to share the numbers with you right now, but they're absolutely blowing us all away. And here's the thing that I love about the $29 Quick Start Kit is I feel like the individuals who are getting started with this kit are individuals who really want to start a business. And here's why I think that. Because the kit doesn't have any products in it. So what good is an apron and paperwork going to do somebody? I mean, it's not like you're not going to get a kit napper for the $29 kit, you know, unless somebody's like, I'm willing to pay $29 for that really cute apron. Okay, so when you think about it, I want you to realize that everybody you're recruiting and the recruiting that's happening on your team, put yourself in a maximum mentality with these people. And by that, I want you to understand that a lot of people start the business and they're like, okay, I just want to make some extra money, but it's up to you to paint that bigger picture for them just by simply saying something like this. Hey, you know what, now that you're part of this team, let me just kind of share with you what you've really got your hands on. And then take the time to do what you guys already know to do. Show them the income they can make by doing, by saying, hey, if you only held 2 shows per week, show them what their income would be. They can make the income higher or lower based on what they want to do show-wise. Show them the benefits of director. Show them what it's like to go on the incentive trips. Because what you want to happen is after you have that conversation with them, you want them to go, I thought I just wanted to do this for a little extra money, but based on my conversation with Kim, now I'm like, oh my gosh, this is a lot bigger than I thought it was. So take advantage of the fact that the people starting this month, they're starting for a business, not for products. Does that make sense? You've also got the fabulous quick cooker promotion to get them off to a really strong start. So there's been a lot of talk out there, really for the past 3 weeks that I've been hearing some executive organizations, what they're doing. And these are organizations that are both mainly virtual and other ones that are mainly cooking shows, but all of them together, what they're doing is, as soon as a new consultant comes on their team, as soon as they recruit a new consultant, they're saying to that person, hey, let's go ahead and get 3 virtual parties lined up on your calendar in the very first week of business. Doesn't matter if you want to do virtual parties or not, but let's just get them set up. And then what happens is those brand new consultants qualify. They hit the 1250 in their very first week of business. So they get the quick cooker for free. You've got a consultant who's qualified. And while the virtual parties are running, you can be working with them and guiding them so that they can get a full calendar of parties lined up on their calendar, both cooking parties and virtual parties. Okay, so use the quick cooker to help those new consultants get that 1250 right away. And then after they get the 1250, here's the conversation. Oh my gosh, Gail, you've already got 1250 in sales. Some of our strongest sellers sell $2,500 per month, and you're already halfway there. This is a huge indication that you can really build this business big. So you've got half of the part done to being a director, and that's sales. The other half is recruiting, and I can teach you how to do that. Okay, so see, it all starts with getting them qualified. So use the $29 kit, use the quick cooker promotion, and the fact that you're stepping into this very strong selling season this fall. So this organization and your personal team and organization is really positioned for huge potential this fall. So take advantage of it. I'm serious, you guys, do not let this opportunity pass you by. Okay, so you can either sit there and go, oh yeah, sounds good, or you can roll up your sleeves and dig in and do what you know you need to do, okay? So because of all of this, what I want to do today is just capture a couple of different leadership skills that I think are always great to be reminded of. Again, you're the CEO of your company. So what I want you to do right now is put your CEO hat on and look at your company that you've got in front of you and really take ownership of it and get it strong and solid. Because you all started Pampered Chef, I'm sure, because income was one of the many reasons. And so you've got your hands on this business, you might as well turn it into an income cranking machine. And here's the thing. Every goal that you have, every dream that you have is worth any action that you're going to take. So what I want you to do is jot down some of these numbers I'm going to share with you. The first thing I want to share with you is advanced director income. Okay, I want you to write down minimum is $6,700, maximum $75,000, this is per year, average $29,200 per year. Okay, so I know we've got some advanced directors here. I know we've got directors here. But I want you to look at, let's just look at the average number, $29,200. How would you like to add an additional $29,200 to what you're already earning, maybe from your full-time job? Maybe some of you are already making way more than that from Pampered Chef. Look at the maximum, 75,000. Okay, I start with advanced director as an income example. I never start with director, and I'll tell you why. Because director is a stepping stone. When you hit the director level, you haven't arrived. You've just taken the first step into leadership. Okay, so I want you to kind of keep in mind and kind of keep the messaging for directors that you're going to be promoting into your first generation is the messaging should always be, once somebody hits director, they want to be positioned to step to the next level, which is advanced director, as soon as possible. And the thing is, if you can start a business and recruit others to start a business, you can become director and help other people to become director. It's a natural progression. Okay, let's look at senior director income. Minimum, $22,800. Maximum, $122,700. Average, $52,900. Let's go to executive director. Minimum, $48,000. Maximum, $110,700. Average, $78,400. Let's go to senior executive director. Minimum, $97,000. Maximum, $104,900. Average, $100,800. National executive director. Minimum, $112,400. Maximum, can't even tell you the number, but it's over $500,000. Average, $231,000. Okay, so each one of your lives looks completely different. Each one of your situations is different. What you want out of this business is different. But I want you to understand the income that's laying on the table in front of you. It's right there. And your choice, your decision is, am I going to do what I need to do to build my personal business strong, set the example for my team, and build my team strong so that these incomes are possible for me? Okay, why not you? And why not now? Why not say, okay, I'm wiping the slate clean on everything and it is time to charge forward and grab a hold of this income? See, the thing is, you guys, each one of you owes it to yourself to get paid at your title. Each one of you owes it to yourself to grow your income from where it is right now. And I know, having walked in your shoes, there were times in my business where I would just have those major aha moments where I would say, okay, Julie, you are the only thing standing in your way. And sometimes that would be like, okay, that's true. So I've got full control of myself. So that's easy. And then there are other times where I would realize that, and then I would just get mad at myself. So it's funny. Back when I was with one of my companies, it was the Body Shop at Home. The person that was my upline, I lived in Southern Indiana. She lived in Michigan. And I can remember I went through a period in my business where I actually started to get really stagnant. I had had a lot of growth, and then all of a sudden things just kind of stayed right where they were. I plateaued. And it was during this time that I remember I was kind of blaming my upline. Her name was Nan. I was blaming her for everything that was my responsibility. I was blaming her because, well, she lived in Michigan and I lived in Indiana. And if I lived in Michigan and I was able to attend her meetings face to face, my business would be better right now. And oh, if Nan was a better trainer, and she did more trainings for my team, I would have a stronger organization right now. And if Nan was more organized, I would have a better team right now. And, you know, or if she communicated with me better, things would be better. So what happened was I started playing the blame game. So it was very easy for me to constantly blame her leadership, or what I thought was lack of leadership. And so every single time I looked at her, I was like, it's her fault, it's her fault. And then one day I had a wake up call and I was like, it's not her fault. It's totally my fault, and I need to take responsibility. And I think sometimes even it's easy for us to look at members that are on our team. And we're like, oh my gosh, you know, I'm sick and tired of hearing her excuses. You know, if she would just, you know, hold her parties, or if she would just make her phone calls, or if she would just do this, my team would be stronger. And so I think a lot of times we blame things around us. We blame our own team. We blame situations in our work life, or situations at home. And it's easy for us to blame and make excuses when at the end of the day, the buck stops with us. And so the realization for me was, you know what, Julie, you're the owner of this company, and it's your choice and it's your decision how to move forward with things. And once I made that decision and I realized that I needed to take responsibility versus blaming others and other situations, that my business exploded. Now, I'm not saying that you're where I was, but I'm saying this to you because it was a huge realization for me, and it was a business and life changer. So just always be aware of that, and even be aware of it when you're coaching members from your team, because sometimes you'll be coaching somebody and they just start bringing up excuse, and you have to be, as a leader, in the position where you can quickly bounce them off of that and help them to take responsibility for things versus blaming their situation, okay? Now, the other thing that you commonly come into as a leader, not only for your personal business, but again, when you're working with your team, is the fact that you all want to take ownership of your business and act like the owner and treat it like an owner versus treating it like a hobby. Because what I've learned in all these years, and Donna, I'm sure you would probably agree, and I'm sure Crystal Jackson, Cindy Sparling, Janine Gagne, you would all agree that when you treat your business like a business, it pays you like a business. When you treat it like a hobby, it pays you more like a hobby. And so you really want to focus this fall on ramping up your show schedule. You guys know what you need to do. You've heard, I think it was recently in the month of June, Stephanie Richardson, Executive Director Stephanie Richardson, did a fantastic training on how her and her team consistently make 25 contacts per week for the purpose of booking shows, and 25 contacts per week for the purpose of recruiting. And as a matter of fact, Kim Manning, she just bent down so I can't see her face, but Kim Manning was on a group of people yesterday where we kind of talked about that a little bit. And people are having huge results just from doing it for the past 2 weeks. The number of bookings they've lined up on their calendar and the number of people they've recruited, they're going, oh my gosh, I wish I would have been more consistent with this. So again, you know what you need to do. And I know you know what you need to do because you're all leaders. So you just need to take what you're teaching your teams and what you already know and decide today that you're going to put it into action. I think one of the things I think about is if Doris Christopher were to peek at your show schedule right now, would she be excited about what she saw on your calendar? Okay, so again, make sure that your mentality is, I'm not going to have any excuses. I'm going to take full responsibility, and that you teach your teams the same thing. How many of you, by show of hands, have ever read the book, The Slight Edge? Yes, if you haven't read it, I see some of you. Fantastic book written by Jeff Olson. And in the book, he talks about how important it is to just have consistency. And I think one of my huge takeaways from that business was, or from that book was, it's the little things that we do on a daily basis that will either take our business and our life upward or downward. So let me give you an example for what I mean. If you just consistently made, and I'm just going to give a tiny example and you can magnify it from here. Let's say you just made one contact per day. That choice to make one contact per day consistently, gradually over time is going to take your business upward, right? But also at the same time, that choice to not make that contact every single day consistently over time is going to take your business downward. So focus on what you know you need to do as a leader consistently, and do it every day, and you will go upward. Okay. And sometimes it's just that one day of not doing it that can put you on that path where you're moving downward. So that's why consistency is the key, because you got to do it every single day and not miss a single day. And I promise you, you will see the results. And you know what? For all the things that you're planning, all the things that you're pulling together for your team, I encourage you to take the initiative. I've been talking about acting like an owner. Take the initiative and don't wait for Donna or Crystal or Cindy or Janine to plan things that are going to benefit your business. So this is what I mean. If you're sitting there thinking, you know what, I've got a lot of recruits on my personal team. Well, I wonder when Donna's going to do a new consultant training. Or I've got a lot of people that are fence sitters. I wonder when Donna's going to schedule a virtual opportunity event. If this is something that you know needs to be done for your business, take initiative and put it into action for yourself so that you can really get that growth, okay? Now, something that I want you to think about right now is what would happen, what would you have to lose personally if your personal business fell apart this month? Okay. What would you have to lose personally? And I think one of the things, you know, an example that I can give you is if you are somebody that you're a leader and you're wanting to build your business because you want to bring in income so you can step away from your full-time job. Maybe an example for you would be, well, if my personal business fell apart, I would be delaying walking away from my full-time job. So I want you to jot down right now, what would happen if your personal business fell apart? What do you have to lose personally? Now, there's several reasons why you certainly want to have a strong personal business. You know that when you have shows, it leads to sales, which leads to money in your pocket. You know that when you have shows, it leads to recruit leads, that leads to consultants on your team. The more consultants, the more franchises that you set up, the more sales are going to happen in your organization, the more income you are all going to make, okay? As the leader, you set the example, you create the cultures in your team. Your team is going to do what you do. However, most of your team is going to do a fraction of what you do. So you've got to make sure what you do is at a high level, knowing they're never going to do more than half of what you do, okay? Another thing that I know a lot of leaders like to promote on, focus on is re-promoting themselves. So when you guys are promoting directors in your organization, one of the first things you want to do is encourage them to re-promote themselves to director right away in the first 90 days. Now, of course, you know, you can't ask anybody to do something that you yourself aren't willing to do. So I actually challenge each of you right now, and Donna, we're going to hold them to this, okay? Whoever wants to take advantage of the challenge, I want to challenge you to re-promote yourself to director in the next 90 days. And that means adding at least 5 new team members and helping them get off to a strong start. So if you want to take my challenge of re-promoting yourself to director in the next 90 days, so we've got October 1, November 1, December 1. So by December 1st, recruit 5 people. I want you to type into the chat right now, I take the re-promotion challenge. And Donna, then you can go into the chat and see who's taking the challenge, and we'll work from there. Okay, so wrapping it up, I want you to make sure that you're all on top of the resources that we've got for you right now. A couple of different things I want you to think about is the monthly focus that comes out every single month on the very first of the month. The monthly focus is for everybody, not just leaders. So you know that your entire team is getting the monthly focus, okay? And the monthly focus focuses on the basic skills of booking, selling, recruiting, okay? So make sure that as soon as that monthly focus comes out on the 1st, you guys should actually have written into your calendar every single 1st of the month. A task that you need to do is to review that entire monthly focus. Why should you do it on the 1st of every month? Because when you know the information, it's easier for you to partner with that information in building a strong team, okay? So take advantage of that. There's always great videos that you can share. Yes, your team is getting it, but you can grab videos and share them on your team page and different things like that. So become a student of the monthly focus. Another thing I don't know if you guys are aware of is the recruiting experience page. If you go under training and is it under training and resources? It might be under selling and recruiting. I just had it written down.
I think it's under selling and recruiting, Julie.
Selling and recruiting, yeah. And then on the sidebar, the left sidebar, you'll see recruiting experience. If you guys have not gone here, oh my gosh, that's a call to action right now that I want to give you, is go to the recruiting experience page, because there are so many images and videos that can be used. And step outside of the box in your thinking when you're using these, because they're not, I don't want you to see these images and go, oh, well, I don't do virtual parties, so I'm not going to use these. Oh my gosh, you can use them in a multitude of different ways. There are so many different videos that you can use in your virtual parties, outside of your virtual parties, for the purpose of recruiting. And as a leader, you should know this page like the back of your hand, especially if you're a leader who wants to create a culture of fast-paced recruiting within your team. Okay, another thing that you can do is maybe even set up a Zoom chat with your team and screen share this recruiting experience page with them and show them all the different things on it so that they can take advantage of all of those resources. Okay, so wrapping up our time with you, I just again want to remind you of the challenge that I just issued to re-promote yourself to director by December 1st. And keep in mind the word picture that I gave you of McDonald's Corporation, of the fact that you are McDonald's, and every time you recruit somebody, you're setting up more franchises. The more franchises you have, the more sales in your organization. The more sales in your organization, the sooner you're going to get to those incomes that I shared with you. And always I encourage people to beat your personal best. So maybe challenge yourself this fall to go to Consultant Connection, your performance tracker, and look what how many shows you held last September, or how much sales you had, or how much recruiting, and say, you know what, this September, I'm going to beat what I did last September. And do the same for October, November, and December. Or if you're really good, you'll do the beat my personal best, which means you're going to know, you know what, the highest number of shows I've ever held in a month was 22. So this fall, I'm going to do 23 each month. Or the highest number of sales I've ever had in a month was 14,000. So this fall, I'm going to strive to beat my personal best every single month. So I'm sharing that with you, but what would happen if you shared that with your teams? If the members on your team all beat their personal best. So do they know how to go to their numbers to see what they've done each month? Okay, so that's something that you can teach them so that they can strive. But the biggest thing is you want to recognize that accordingly. So Donna, do you have anything that you want to add?
I don't think so. We are going to continue for a few minutes afterwards, Julie. I know that you have gone over time and you're probably late for your next call.
Yep, just a couple minutes. That's okay.
We will let you go. And if there's any question that they have that I can't answer, I will definitely reach out to you. But thank you so much, Julie. I really appreciate you.
You're welcome. You guys have a great day, and thanks for letting me pop into your meeting.
Thank you, Julie. It was an honor. Thanks.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right. Awesome. Well, I hope that you all, kind of did get some good ideas. And, Julie spoke to us kind of, about, our role. And that's the most important thing. As I said earlier, this is our push month in our first 3 generations. And so this does not include, some that are in the Jackson and the Sparling organization, but in our first 3 generations, we have 38 directors. That's a great number, 38 directors. And right now we have 14 that are director green, meaning that they already have their team sales of 5,000 and they personally have their 750. So we're on the right path. We still have 24 more to go in those first 3 generations, but I'd like to just spend the next 10 minutes of our call kind of talking about maybe some things that you've already implemented, with your team, some things that you could be doing or that you are doing, or maybe that you've heard about through your networking groups, that we can get those team members engaged. So I'm going to kind of call Janine out first because I know her and Christy were working on just a wonderful idea, and I asked her to share first while you guys were kind of all getting your head around things that you may be doing. So Janine and Christy, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Okay. Christy, are you there? She was having a little internet issue. Oh, there you are. You're muted. Unmute yourself, dear.
I tried. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so they're working on the power lines outside of my house, so my internet keeps going in and out. Not the greatest, but okay. So,
well, Christy just shared this idea yesterday. She has team member Alicia Perkins, and she's just mainly trying to be active this month. And we thought it was a great idea. And Christy, go ahead and tell them, and I'll pull up the picture. How's that so they can see?
Okay, fabulous.
So we'll do the all knife party first.
Okay. So Alicia was telling me that she was trying to do it's a paring knife party to try to get some kind of sales to be active because she has been moving into a new house and has been really busy and needed something to stay active this month. So she tossed this idea out to me, and I helped her make these pictures to where it shows all the different kinds of paring knives we have. So we have the cheap ones, the medium, and then the expensive one or whatever. And so what she is going to do is just kind of post this on her VIP page or send it out to friends and things like that. And basically they choose the knives that they would like to purchase, or not the knife or knives. And then they contact her with the order because her goal, her hope is that mostly the local people will order, because she was concerned about if they buy the kitchen paring knife set, that the shipping is going to be almost as much as the knives. And so we came up with that if you have the orders shipped to you and they're local, then you put everybody's orders on one order, and then just kind of like have them come to you to pick up their order, and she's going to pay the shipping. So they ship to the host, she's going to pay the $5.25 and for their shipping, so they're not being charged that. They can come pick up their knives at their house for like a pickup party, and they can look at the catalog. They can look at some new products if you have the new products and whatnot, and just, you know, get together, have some fun, and buy some knives.
So we thought this was a great idea. So this morning, Christy and I were chatting. Well, what would be another way to promote this with just the paring knife?
Yeah, so I like this one now that we had a little bit more time to think about it, because the first one was very spur of the moment. After we thought about it for a little while, I really like the idea of making it a party. So if this one, they just order the kitchen paring knife set. If you sell 30 sets, then you will be providing 90 meals to Feeding America. And then you can give away the host rewards to somebody who ordered, one of the guests that ordered. And then basically all the rest is still the same, but of course, this one is all about Feeding America and raising or selling the products to get to the 90 meals. And then, of course, this one tells them, of course, you can buy other items if you wish. You don't have to order just the paring knives, but if you could sell, and I think it sounds better than saying, hey, I've been challenged to sell 30 sets of these things. It sounds like you're actually here to help somebody and to make a difference. And people are going to be more willing to do that than they are say, okay, I'll buy these knives for you because you need it.
I love that.
I like this one.
That is really nice. And I think that 90 meals to Feeding, Feeding America, that speaks to it. I think where some people be like, okay, I'm okay with the shipping. It's a charitable cause. So,
Yeah.
Great idea. Great idea. Thank you. Any questions for Christy or Janine?
I'm going to go post those on your McDonald director page.
Thank you, Janine. Any questions on that? Okay. Okay, good. All right. Does anyone have any ideas or things that they're implementing for their team? We still have 11 days, so plenty of time that we can get this going.
Donna?
Yes, Crystal.
I'm going to be offering freezer meal workshop to-go packs, because right now trying to get something scheduled in my home is a little difficult for me to process, and everything that goes with a workshop. So I'm going to do the to-go packs, where basically they buy everything that they would need for a freezer meal workshop, and then I will email them everything that they need to make it at home. So by doing that, I can get sales now. And for those, I have had them in the past say, but I still want to do a workshop. And if that's the case, then we can schedule the workshop in the future, but the sales can go in now.
That's genius, Crystal. Absolutely. And you can do that with any, say you want to do a baking workshop. You get them to pre-order the tools that they're going to be using at that workshop. And, and then that counts for your September sales. And then you book it in October. So great idea, Crystal. Love that.
Donna, I'm also doing, I know we've done mega parties as the whole organization. My team never really got on board with that. I think they felt like it was such a big thing, and then you only can invite 25 people, and I just couldn't get them excited about it as much as I tried. But I'm, scrambling to find things too. So I said, you know what, I'm going to do just for my team a mega party, because I've got a lot of people who they haven't done parties in a while. They don't have a template, excuse. So I'm running a mega party just for my personal team. And I have at least 6 people jumping on board, and there's about 500 people invited to that party because I told them to invite at least 40 to 50, but I didn't cap it. So one lady invited 350 people. I don't care how many people are in there. Just get people in there because we can get excitement. But I found when I did it with my personal team, they felt more included than when we were doing the big one. And I've had a lot more participation.
Absolutely, Carolyn. I think that's another great idea. You know,
I have a template. I mean, it's not going to take me any extra time. I needed to run my own party too. So we're all just doing it together.
And then what you'll see, Carolyn, is your consultants will be more involved because they're not going to just slough it off. Oh, there'll be someone else that will be commenting. They have to take ownership. So good idea.
And the other thing I like about it is they have to message their guests. Otherwise, they don't know where to order.
Right.
So this is teaching the habit because we now know that with Facebook, the hosts have to be messaging or that no one sees the posts. So this is also creating, because everybody's running their own party. I didn't have them find other hosts. Basically, everyone's running their own party. So now I'm going to create a host coaching group. I'm really retraining my whole team simultaneously and teaching them this is what we need to do to have virtual parties.
Yep, great. Good job, Carolyn. Great. All right, anyone else?
Donna? An idea that was shared on the call that I was on the same call with Kim yesterday with Julie, and I emailed Lorene, and we're going to talk a little bit more about joining forces on this, is challenging, going back to, and we've done this years in the past, but challenging to have somebody on our team hosting a show every day of the month. So we're going to start that for the month of October. And essentially, we're still working out the details, but what we're looking at possibly doing is, at the end of the month, we'll have a drawing and we'll pick a date from the month of October. And if somebody had a party on that day, then they'll earn a prize or win a prize. It'll either be, a pack of catalogs or a product, something enticing, something worthwhile that gets them excited. But just wanted, we're still ironing out the details, but just wanted to share that idea with others. Yeah. And if we at least get some momentum, we may not get the full month the first month, but if we start to see momentum and start to see that maybe it's inspiring others to get back into bookings, then we'll continue it from month to month.
My team's kind of doing the same thing. They don't want to do it every day, so we're doing 7 parties a week. So just to make it, because they're like, I don't want to keep starting. I don't want to have a bunch of parties that I'm having to do. They want to be able to just book their parties for that week. So our goal is 7 parties a week.
Is that 7 parties as a team or 7 parties
as a team?
Okay.
That's a good idea, Regina, because you're like, oh well, that date's already taken,
Yeah.
So
Well, we figured if there's a double booking on a day, then that's some of the stuff that we are working on, but we'll talk about that as an additional idea to look at it. But just something to get everybody on board and excited for doing something together.
Yeah.
But I'm with Regina too, because so many people on our organization do virtual parties and they start them all on Monday. So there's no parties starting on Wednesday or Thursday. So that's one of the reasons Regina is saying that, is we came up with the 7 days, 7 parties that week, because there's so many virtual people.
And Carolyn, to go on that with the virtual, maybe it's not when it starts, but when you submit it. So maybe if we submit a party every day, that's what I'm thinking. Because even though my parties may run Monday through Friday, I may have 5 parties myself that week, but I'm going to have one host who closes on Monday, one who closes on Wednesday, one who doesn't close for another. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm looking at, is maybe either it'll count if they have a cooking show that day or if they submit a party that day.
all right. Does anyone else have anything?
I have one other one, Donna. I just remembered it. From the grill pan post that we did, trying to get all of those sales by August 15th, I had a gal Saturday morning say, Crystal, I want the grill pan and the griddle pan, but I just can't spend that much money. Can I just do a party and see what happens? And within 5 hours, she got $450 in sales so that she could get her the grill pan and griddle pan at 50% off. So what I'm going to do is go back to every single person that said they wanted the grill pan and suggest to them just doing a catalog party. I'm not going to try. I've already tried for the Facebook party, but those who didn't respond or said no, I'm going to suggest to them just collect $200 in sales, and you can get this for 60% off. which I believe my calculation was 116. And my gift to them is going to get it down to 100. Like I'm going to pay, if this is correct, I don't have my notes in front of me, but the $16 to get it down to just $100 for the brand new grill pan. That's a ginormous discount. And if I can get a bunch of people, because I had like 50 people ask about it. So if I can get a bunch of people just trying to get sales, and who knows, it could end up over 200. I think that could be a big add-on as well, and not adding to my party schedule for virtuals, but just hopefully sales on the side.
Good. That's great. Good. Now you also probably have been seeing some, the information that home office is giving us on the .com orders. And, it could be kind of frustrating to see that and think, well, I'm not getting commission on that. But, on the other hand, you could look at it as something that you can work towards, and as I should say, a benefit. Turn it into a positive. A lot of times, and I'll tell you, I had a conversation with an exec, and she followed up with a person that placed the order, and they said, "Oh my gosh, I didn't know I could, work with a consultant." And she said, "Well, I would love to be your consultant." So sometimes you have to say that people just don't know. They hear about Pampered Chef, they just go to the site and they place the order. So it's up to us to make them our customers. So I can tell you what I have been doing is I'm going ahead and I'm sending them something in the mail. It could be a Season's Best cookbook that you send them. It could be a magnet with your business card. It could be a recipe card. It needs to be something that they will keep. So a thank you card. They don't always understand the process, or maybe they had a consultant that is no longer in the business. So invest in making them your customer. Instead of looking at it as, oh gosh, poor me, I didn't get that commission. Make it like, oh my gosh, look, I have a customer that maybe I wouldn't have had. Maybe they wouldn't have ordered through me before. So I really would love us as a team to, really work hard at, where all of a sudden we're getting very few of those leads, because then we know that they're connected to a consultant. So we have 2 more opportunity events for the rest of the month. Janine Gagne will be doing it with her team this evening. And then on the 26th, we have Amanda and Sandy will be doing it. So as of this point to date, we've added 69 team members. Okay, 69, that is awesome. Julie was talking about how great y'all are. Last September, we had only added 40. So we've already exceeded our number from last year. So you know what, today is Wednesday. Let's go and make our contacts and our reach outs to people to invite to the Why Pampered Chef event. And then, you know what, we just want to onboard them and trade them the best that we can. They get so much information from Pampered Chef. Now it's up to us to create that relationship. So our next call is December 19th at noon as an organization. We will go back to our 12 o'clock time. 12 o'clock Eastern time and 11 o'clock for our Central friends. So I do want to say thanks so much for joining. Just keep the momentum going. If you come up with other ideas that you hear, please post it on the director page. And as I always say, I appreciate each and every one of you and all that you bring to the team. So we still have time to make this happen. So let's do it. Who's on board? Give me a raise of hands. Good. Awesome. Well, thank you, everyone. You guys have a great rest of the week, and we will catch up very soon.
Thank you.
Take care, guys. Bye-bye.